So one of my goals that I set for myself this semester was to teach a math lesson and really get myself more involved in teaching math. I didn't really get the chance last semester to do so in my clinical, so this was like my shoe in before I start student teaching and before I become a big real teacher in a few months. So um, I really liked this lesson for being the first one. It wasn't too vocab heavy. It was very much meeting the kids where they're at and growing on that. So missing numbers, sequencing, and it kind of also gave me an opportunity to really like see where my students are individually, other than just assessing them, because I could see them, thinking and working together. So it was a very like social kind of assessment for me as well, because I could see what kids got it, what kids don't get it, what kids need more support. And actually during my lesson, and this is one of the strengths my CT touched up on, was that I differentiated and I pivoted, and I was able to realize that my students that had gotten 1 through 10 could go up to 1 through 16 or 1 through 20. And that really set the tone for the rest of the lesson. And so I agree, and I like that she put that as a strength, because I agree. Like, I think that's one of my strengths as a teacher, is that I'm able to pivot and kind of adhere my teaching to in the moment teaching. Another strength, she said with the individual assessments, like, it was a group activity, but I could individually see where each student was at, which I know I've heard professors say, oh, that's hard, like, how are you going to know each student? But with math, and especially with like numbers and flashcards and sequencing, like, you can see, because it gets one-on-one, but in a group setting. So one of the areas of growth, she said, it was a little long, which was actually a miscommunication on our part. And her and I talked about it after, was just like, I wasn't sure how long it was supposed to be, because her times always vary. And so on Monday, this coming Monday, she wants me to teach another lesson. And she said that I could do a 5-minute break in between, read a story, do a brain break, kind of like do 2 lessons in 1 workshop model, which is really nice, because now I can get more help practice, and the kids can, hit different parts of like numbers and sequencing in one day. So this was the worksheet that we use, because my CT's philosophy on worksheets is that it's an assessment. So it's individually we can see, and all the kids had to do was number 1 through 10 on the pumpkins. This is what I evaluated, and this is what, like, individually. And if students had a hard time with writing 5, for example, I showed them, and I kind of said a little poem, like, 5 needs a hat, he needs a neck, and he needs a belly. And, like, I had the kids go back and practice those numbers in order to make sure that they, just have that handwriting practice. So learning, I guess, like, you're constantly changing, and I like that she sees that I'm able to differentiate right away, and that's, I think, was one of my personal strengths. But I'm actually teaching again on Monday, and we're doing missing numbers, so I've been able to find more activities to do, and I kind of want to just build on what we did on Monday, but make it a little bit harder, but still differentiate for those students who need that extra support with 1 through 10. So, yeah, it was fun. It was great. I like math.